Hello, everybody, and welcome to Committed Gaming. I'm Flute5311, and I'm here with something we're going to do a little different here. I thought it would be kind of fun to do a kind of a how-to Destiny. We have a lot of people, the community right now is very split on veterans who've been playing Destiny for since year one, um, and we have all the new people who've just recently joined with the Taken King, say over the holidays, or even my buddy who picked it up around Thanksgiving, and playing with him and kind of getting him through some of the content and working with him and kind of teaching him the ropes of Destiny, I realized that, man, there are a lot of people out there who've never played it before and who just don't know how to Destiny, like what all the little ins and outs and a lot of the nuances that we take for granted being veteran Destiny players. And so I'm just going to kind of talk through, make a little series here of just kind of how to Destiny. So right here, we've landed in the tower. Obviously, everybody kind of knows where that is after the very beginning. But some of the things here, for instance, like my buddy trying to talk him in through, going in here, grabbing all your bounties, picking up as many as you can, going through, doing them all. Every day that ranks up your faction. I would highly suggest picking up a faction. What are the factions? Well, you have the Vanguard and Crucible, which those guys are down here. Those are the ones you always rank up with. That's kind of your standard home base people that you rank up with and get packages, which give you motes of light, strange coins, and usually a weapon or a gun or maybe a shader of some sort. You also have three other factions you can pledge to, and you can rank up with them, and they also give you packages and some other cool stuff. So the first one I'm going to come over here to visit, we have Dead Orbit, which we're going to go visit first, and then we have Future War Cult, which we'll go visit second. So this is the first one, and we'll come down here by the shipwright, and we'll pop in here. And what you'll do is you'll pledge allegiance to them. I'm currently pledged to the New Monarchy. I'm not going to go ahead and take this, but you'll hit that, and then once you go through, and once you hit rank 3, then you'll start getting much better drops. And then you can start buying some of these things here, but you'll get a lot of packages as you hit the various ranks, and it gives you more gear, more opportunities for higher level gear. Up top here we have Future War Cult, all the way up top here. Future War Cult is another one. They have kind of the fun, kind of rainbowy type patterns. And then the other one, we'll go to New Monarchy. But on the way to New Monarchy, we're going to talk about a few more things. Once you hit rank 25, which is a long way, a long time since they kind of changed how packages are done, and nightfalls are done, and how just reputation in general without the nightfall buff anymore, it takes a lot longer to rank up with the various factions. But once you hit rank 25, you'll get a quest to do an exotic class item. And let me show you the class item here. This is like the exotic class item. Whoops, here it is. The exotic class item for Future War Cult. I can't put it on right now because I'm pledged to a different one. But what's really cool about it is this thing right here. It's a lie. This thing. When you spawn in, each one has their own separate, like little nifty little spawn in animation. So Future War Cult, when you spawn in, you kind of get like a kind of a retro 60s, 70s kind of starburst with color. The Dead Orbit one's just kind of a black ghosty thing, and the New Monarchy one's pretty slick. It's just a kind of a flash of like glimmering red. So New Monarchy, if I could even walk, New Monarchy's way over here, and here's New Monarchy in all their glory, which is who I'm currently pledged with this one. So I chose this one to come to last to kind of show you that you can cash in materials to also rank up. So if you've got just a ton of Motolite or weapon parts or whatever else, you can sit here and burn them, turn them into Executor Hideo here, and you could rank up faster. So that's something that I would definitely recommend doing. Another thing that my buddy didn't know about, because he probably wouldn't have unless we told him, was Xur. Xur comes every Friday at 4 a.m. Eastern, and he usually brings exotics. Not usually, he always brings exotics. He'll bring one for each class, and then either an exotic weapon or an exotic item, armor item, engram. He hasn't had the engrams for a very long time. Take a quick sip of water there. He's been bringing a lot of weapons lately, which is probably better for balance, because if you have engrams, cash in on engrams until you get 310 ones, and then you use them as infusion fodder, which was really awesome. But so currently he's been bringing weapons lately, so you got Dragon's Breath here you can buy for strange coins, which is fun. These items over here, these are exotic engrams, yes, but they are legacy, which means they're year one, which means they're going to come in at year one power, which is like max 170. So it doesn't do you much good unless you've never had any of those older ones. You want to kind of get them in your loot pool, and I'll kind of walk over to the iPods by the Vanguard and kind of walk you through what bind these could possibly get you. Other than these things, you can use these to infuse into blue sparrows, which is kind of cool and makes them legendary. And you get a neat little contrail behind them, either blue or red. They also have a purple one. You can buy heavy ammo. You can buy 3 of coins. 3 of coins work by you'll use them at the beginning of a crucible match, or if you're going into say strikes, they give you a chance for an exotic at the end of the match after you kill the boss or after you end the crucible round. They do stack for an increased chance at the drop. However, that really increases the cooldown. Now, you don't actually ever get to see the cooldown for the 3 of coins. It's just kind of behind the scenes. There's a cooldown. So what we usually do to yield kind of the best results is I usually do one every other crucible match, or maybe one every other strike. And it usually yields pretty good. When you had sparrow racing, you could use them for sparrow racing. And, sparrow racing's only, it was like, 5 minutes a match. So you can burn those things pretty quick and get a fair amount of exotics that way. The glass needles are, I don't know, I bought a bunch and I've never once used them. This allows you to re-roll your exotic armor to get different perks. So, anyway, this is Zer. Zer is always in a different place every Friday, and he'll leave Sunday morning around 4 a.m. as well. So, he's just here from Friday to Sunday. So, you can check the app. If you have the app, there'll be a splash screen right when you open it up on Friday morning, and it'll show you exactly what his inventory is. It won't tell you where he is. You can come check out our channel, although I didn't do one this morning because I was going to do this video here. But you can check out, our channel or any other channel where they have Zer location videos first thing in the morning. So let's talk about some of these iPads now. As I mentioned those a second ago, when you get shaders, if you ever get like, oh my gosh, I'm so full of shaders, you can delete them. It's fine. They all get stored here in your database. Basically, you can come back and pick them up for free. No big deal. They're all going to be here for you. If you get like overwhelmed with shaders, you can just delete them and it's okay. Same thing with emblems. Emblems, you can get them, you can delete them, and you'll still have access to them later on, which is pretty slick. I wish they would do this with class items. That's one thing I'm really hoping they would do, because if I go up here to my vault, my vault is absolutely full of class items because there are so many cool ones from year one that you can't get anymore that I just really liked. Some of the arguments have been, well, you can't do it because they have perks on them now and they have light. Well, they do the same thing with armor. They have different perks on the armor, so they don't see the reason why. But anyway, so we'll come down here, and we're going to talk. So this is the Crucible area. You talk to the shacks here to get all your Crucible stuff. By now, you all know this. So let's come over here and talk about why you might want to buy some of the legacy items if you are new to Destiny. Those legacy engrams, if I buy a legacy heavy engram, okay, cool, and say I get a year one Thunderlord. All right, well, that doesn't do me any good because it's year one stats. However, that will unlock in the year two stat bar so that I can save up my money, my marks, and buy it. So that's pretty slick. So if you're trying to build your backlog here, like, oh man, one of these days when Icebreaker comes back and it's going to be awesome, or when I hear about this legendary Gallahorn when it comes back in the to prowess, you can start kind of building your inventory in here, even though it may not be year two stats. You can kind of have it here in your year two bay ready to grab as soon as it becomes available. So that's something to kind of think about if you are new to Destiny and you aren't really entirely sure what those legacy items, why they would be useful to you. And if, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It may not be the best use of your strange coins, but it could be in the future. Same thing here. If they ever have, legacy armor, it'll backlog. See, like I've got these Mark 44 stand-asides that I got in year one, but I now have them in year two and I haven't bought them yet. See, look, they have class items right here. There's no reason why they can't do it. Anyway, rant for another day. Okay, so let's go talk about, as I mentioned, my vault is full of stuff. Let's go take a look at the vault. The vault can be a very good friend, especially if you're starting out and you've only got, one character or two. Um, you can use the vault. The vault is shared between all three characters, your hunter, your warlock, and your titan. So you can use the vault to share weapons and maybe not so much gear because, it's all class specific, but you could share weapons between them. And let's say, you've got like a really good gun that's good for, like rank 16. Let's take the stranger's rifle for that. You can throw it in your vault, and then, as soon as your Titan or your Hunter, say you started a Warlock for this case, as soon as your other character gets up to rank 16, you could quickly grab some of these other guns that you've thrown in here that are already leveled up and guns that you really liked. They can pick them up, they might be a higher level, and they can go, and they kind of helps them rank up faster and it gives them a good gun. It also just helps if you've got a bunch of good guns that you really like and say you have a certain loadout that you prefer for PvP or PvE. You can throw them in there and kind of fence them around the different characters. Or your strange coins and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty much kind of how that goes. We're going to walk up here and talk about the gunsmith here. The gunsmith, for those who don't know how the gunsmith works, the gunsmith will have different weapons that you can test. These weapons, they're 200 level, yes, and for some at lower level, this might be really good. But these are test weapons. You kind of use them for what they need you to do, and then you dismantle them. That's kind of about it. Like this one says, it's Omelon prototype fusion rifle here, used to get kills in the Crucible. Some will talk about, this one here is killing Vex Minotaurs. A lot of them this week are Crucible. But some will be like kill captains, kill cabal. And so you grab these weapons and you go out into the field and you'll test them. You'll use them, and I will probably start putting up a guide here on good places to go to do these types of farming, so you can get them done quickly. And but you'll take them out there, and when you complete it, and some of them, basically it's usually like 10. It's like 10 headshots, or for the snipers and the specials, it's usually 10. You'll rank up with the gunsmith, and as you rank up, you can buy these foundry packages. Once you hit rank 1, you can buy 1 package. When you hit rank 2, you can buy 2 packages. When you rank 3, you can get 3 packages. And some of these guns are really good. Some of them have really neat rules, like this Suros PDX, this pulse rifle here. It has a chance to have a pretty good roll. This gun here is one of the top. This type of gun, the way the fire rate and the impact of this gun is really strong right now. And so I went ahead and bought this package because there's a possibility of a pretty nasty roll on it. So I bought it. But you can buy these packages, and even if the gun's good, perfect, you keep it, you rank it up. If it's not good, then you'll just dismantle it, and the worst thing that happens to you is you get legendary marks, right? So that's not a bad deal, because fudging legendary marks is kind of a hard thing to do. It's not as easy. I mean, you can do we'll talk about legendary marks here in a little bit. So this is kind of a quick way to get not a quick way, but a way to get legendary marks. So you'll pick these packages up on Wednesday. You can buy them. You can only buy them up until Sunday. You can. Same thing happens with Xur on Sunday at 4 o'clock in the morning. These things are all gone. You can no longer buy them. So you have to buy them before Sunday, and they'll sit basically in your inventory and clog up your inventory until Wednesday morning, when you can go and come to the gunsmith. Now the gunsmith will not have a, kind of like my postmaster over there has a little green tag over his head. He won't have a green tag over his head. You'll have to just walk over here and see what he's got, and he'll give you 3 options for the weapons, and you kind of go through those and see which ones you really like, and you'll get to pick one, and that'll be it. So let's talk about the postmaster, since it's over here with their big thing over its head. When you have things that are full, like my primary spot's full completely, I can't, if I were to pick up a blue engram on the ground that's primary, I couldn't pick it up because this is full. It would come over here in the postmaster. Currently the postmaster's glitched with the green thing, and it won't go away, but it would appear here. Now Edie only has so many spots here. Edie's the robot, because you can fill that up and you'll start deleting stuff. Greens will not show up here. Whites will not show up here. Only rare blue ones, legendary purple ones, and exotic yellow ones will show up here at the postmaster. Edie, Katie, Alad. So they'll show up here. If your stuff's full, you can come in. Go, oh, cool, I get all this neat stuff. And then you take them over and get them decrypted from Rahul and whatnot. Okay, so now that we're talking about going over here to Rahul, let's pretty important things that will really help newer players level up fast. My buddy, when I was kind of talking him through this, he's like, "Oh my gosh, this method really works. Your method." It's like it's not my method. It's just how the game. When you decrypt stuff from Rahul, he has a cooldown timer for when he decrypts things. He can. So take your time with it. So if you've got something, you'll decrypt it. Go look at it. See what it is. See if it's worthwhile. Delete it. Keep it. Whatever. And then go on to the next one. Also, but when you go to decrypt stuff with the crypt, it's going to be at the highest light level possible. I mean, 300 is the threshold. So once you hit 300, it doesn't matter over 300. But you want to get as high as level as you can, because when he decrypts things, he has a chance to decrypt things at or above your level, which will help you raise your light level faster. So when you're trying to get, going from 250 to 260, 260 to 270, 270 to 280, when you hit those thresholds, you really want to start making sure, even if it's no good, like if it's some crap sniper rifle that you're never going to use, but it's high light level, throw it on and decrypt some things, and maybe you'll get something better that you can equip that you'll actually like, or that you can use to infuse something else in. So it's a very useful tool, a useful tactic to help increase your light level. So always have your max light level when you're decrypting stuff with a cryptarch. And again, take your time. Do one at a time. Don't just sit there and spam hit, 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 hit. Okay, let's go see what we got. Just do one, check it out. One, check it out. One, check it out. Because that will really, it kind of helps with his cooldown, and you might get something better light level to kind of further increase other light level items. So that's just kind of a quick rundown on how to best use Master Rahul over here. He can be your homie. He can also be a complete troll, and you just want to teabag the crap out of him. I think that just about does it for the tower. All I wanted to cover for the tower, and if that's it, I'm going to end the stream, and then we'll fire it back up here. And well, we'll do that one. That way, it kind of breaks it up nicely, so I can convert it over to the YouTube, so everybody will be able to find this. There are lots of ghosts throughout the tower. There are nice websites you can do that. There's one called like Ghost Hunter, Destiny Ghost Hunter, where you put your gamer tag in it, and it sees which ones you have, which ones you don't have. It gives you a little YouTube video. Find the specific ones if you're really hunting in Grimoire Score, and back lore, the backstory of Destiny. That's one thing. Destiny has such an amazing story, and the biggest complaint is it's locked away in the Grimoire. And it would just make a movie out of the Grimoire. It would be amazing. They have not done that. For special events, and Iron Banner will be back there. Back in the day, back in September of Vanilla Destiny, there was the Queen's missions were back there, which was awesome. That's where I got my Dust in the World has, and my Supremacy Sniper. There are ghosts back there as well. So during special events, that opens up. I think that just does it for the tower. Not really much else to talk about. Those are some of the kind of nuanced things that can help